guys, welcome back to the channel. A few weeks ago, a few of our guys went out to Mary's Mayhem in Mudgee. Though this event was marketed as one of the easiest and most laid-back events that the team over at Graveleur hold, we were told it wasn't a race, but a social ride spread across 2 days and some of the best gravel around Mudgee and Rylstone. Day 1 kicked off just outside of Mudgee at Small Batch Brewery and headed towards Gulgong through Beryl and back to the brewery for a total of 98 kilometres and 900 metres of climbing.
Three, two, one, yeah!
As we rolled out, we turned left onto the tarmac and onto the first little climb of the day. We're just setting a nice casual pace up the hill. We're all just chatting between each other about the day that was about to come. But as soon as the tyres hit the gravel, all hell broke loose. Absolute mayhem.
Money, power, and
power, weakest, false, money, driven, major, fraud, breathless, body, diamond, bones, wanna be it, wanna feel it, rage, power, weakest, false, money, driven, major, fraud, breathless, body, diamond.
In the first 50 kilometres, we ended up in a pretty small group, but rotating really good turns and pace lining our way to the first feed stop, holding an average of about 33 kilometres an hour. And by the time we rolled into the first feed station, we were definitely feeling it. Luckily, the locals had us covered with one of the best spreads I've ever seen. Homemade food, plenty of water, and enough brownies to power us through the rest of the ride. So we filled up our bottles, and got back on the road. retraced the first part of the ride over the hills towards Frog Rock and back. By this point, after several tough hours on the bike and with the smell of beer in the air, we were seriously tempted to cut the ride short. But we pushed through and finished the long course in about 3 hours and 45 minutes, about 45 minutes behind the leaders.
That was that last little coming past here and having to go around again.
Yeah, that sucked, hey?
I had about 6 cramps just on the edge, and I'm like, no, don't do it.
Micro cramps.
That was all. I was riding, I was crumping, just coming past the end. That's Alright, come on, let's get a frothy one. Killing me.
Put some dirt on it. One for you. Thank you, mate.
I feel like it's smashed me more than I smashed it.
As soon as we finished, the beers were flowing at small batch and the vibe was all of a sudden relaxed again. Having the finish line at a brewery might be the best idea I've ever seen, and we sat back in the sun, cheered on the other finishers, and enjoyed the laid-back atmosphere.
In third place, the time 3 hours, 29 minutes and 30 seconds, Emma Sonnerson. The time, second place, the time 3 hours, 29:24, Nicole O. And way out in front, and actually second overall in the 100-kilometre race, the time of 3 hours, 1 minute and 40 seconds, Gina Ricard. And our winner, the 100k event, in a time of 3 hours and 49 seconds, an average speed of 33.18 miles per hour, Paul Wilkes. Let's go. The final finisher on day one. They will pick up the
Exactly, yeah. Honestly, it could be called the undercover cyclist. They're like underneath their normal stuff. It's just all shy guys. It's come to get the worst of us.
Baby, I need your touch. Baby, 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 unforgettable baby.
Day 2 started with a few strong coffees and then a 40-minute drive out to Rylstone.
Baby, I need your touch, oh, baby, I need kisses. Baby, unforgettable.
The planned route took us northeast towards Cox Creek and into the state forest back towards Rylstone for about 100 k's and 1100 metres of climbing.
Unforgettable. Baby, I need kisses.
When we arrived in Rylstone, the vibe felt totally different. No timing chips, everyone just seemed much more relaxed. Some of the riders that had been pushing hard the day before were now cruising with their kids. Party shirts were out and the lollies were being shared around. It was clear that we were all just there for a fun day on the bike. the smoothest tarmac I've ever ridden on the gravel bike, surrounded by mountains and the stunning countryside of Ralston. At around 25 k's in, the gravel kicked in and it was perfect. Mike, the event director, had warned us that the roads had just been recently graded, but even that didn't prepare us for just how perfect it was going to be to ride. The day was a planned detour to the Kad River. Some riders even took a dip in the icy water before getting back on the bike. It was a great contrast to the intensity of the day before. of the climbing was marked with a food station overlooking the state forest, but they had a bunch of spare water and some more snacks for us. Our group had a couple of mechanicals on the way up, so we took a moment to rest the legs and wait for them to catch up. We had a good old yarn with some of the locals that gave us a little bit of an insight into potential variations of the route for the next time we popped down, which we'd already started planning. From here, it was all downhill. The descent was an absolute blast, and the tailwind didn't hurt either. It was one of those perfect moments where everything just comes together, and we were absolutely flying back down the hill. as we started to close in on the finish line back in Ralston, we were sitting pretty doing an easy 35 to 40 k's an hour with almost no power, and we were redirected to the final surprise of the day, which is a little detour to the Wallamai Standing Stones. Back into town, you could hear the music from a few streets away, and all of the locals had come out in swarms to fill the Garden of the Globe Hotel with stalls from wineries to breweries and local produce, and there was just an amazing atmosphere. Everyone had clearly had a great day on the bikes, not just us. We ended up just parking up in the sun, having a few beers with the locals, and we ended up bumping into Alison, who was the person responsible for planning the route for this day. She gave us a couple little tips for some variations on the route that we'd just done, so we'll be popping down to do some of those, because if they're anything like the one that we'd just done, I know they'll be worth the 3.5 hour drive from Sydney alone.
The Lantern Rouge for day 2 of Mary's Mayhem, part of the Bushranger Series, Graveleur 2024. Charlotte Buchanan. Nah, there's no speech going on there. Okay, that is it. Mary's Mayhem 2024, run and won. You! Pause for our race director, Mike Israel.
Thanks everyone, thanks Manny. Wow, what a weekend. I'm going to tell you straight up, I'm pretty emotional right now, so I may not get through this. But it's just blown me away this weekend, it really has. So thank you, everyone. I can't believe it.
If you've seen any of my other videos, you'll know that I'm a big fan of the Graveleur team. But honestly, with Mary's Mayhem, they really went above and beyond. From the route design to rallying the local involvement, it was clear they put a serious amount of blood, sweat and literal tears into making this event. And it was incredibly special, both on and off the bike. So for me, this event is a 10 out of 10, without a doubt, and I'll be coming back next year. But hopefully with some race legs on for day 1.